I've already tried the gravy and it was lovely, so that is really good. Lovely and tender. Oh, that's nice, yeah. So that is our dinner this evening. Hi everyone and welcome back to Gugu's Kitchen, and if you are new here then hello and welcome. My name's Alexis and in today's video I want to share with you how to make a delicious honey and orange gammon with gravy. As I just mentioned, today I want to share with you how to make a honey and orange slow cooker gammon. Now this recipe is really easy to do and it's a great recipe to have to hand, especially at Christmas time. My dad always used to make roast gammon at Christmas. We all loved it, but he never used a slow cooker. He always used to cook it on the hob and then put it in the oven. And this is the first time I have ever used a slow cooker to cook a gammon, so I'm hoping it goes okay. So the first thing I have done is I've got my gammon, and what I did was I basically scored the back of the gammon with a knife, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add salt and pepper to the gammon. So I'm going to make sure there's a lot of salt and pepper on it, just to season it really well. And then I'm going to make a sauce for the gammon as well. So I'm going to put the gammon into the pot, and I'm just going to go and wash my hands. As I said, I'm going to make a sauce now. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've got some honey here, and I'm going to add a tablespoon of honey to a small mixing bowl, and I'm just going to let that drizzle off the spoon itself. And then I've got an orange that I've cut in half here, and I'm going to just squeeze the juice of the orange into the bowl like so. I think half an orange will be fine, to be honest, otherwise there will be a bit too much liquid. And then I'm going to add a tablespoon, I'd say, of tamari to this as well. So it's going to be kind of a sweet and sour sauce that's going to go on top of the gammon. And then to that I'm going to add a teaspoon of ground ginger. I'm just going to judge that. I'm normally alright at judging that, so just going to add like a teaspoon of ginger to the bottom of that as well. And then I'm going to mix those ingredients together, and I'm going to pour the sauce on the top of the gammon and spread it as evenly across the top as I can, like so. So I'm going to try and get all of the honey off, and I'm going to try and spread it in the gaps of the gammon as well where I've scored it. So I'm going to spread it just evenly across the gammon, and then I'll show you there. So that's as evenly as I can do, and then I'm going to add some bay leaves to the base. And I'm also going to add some cloves as well. So I'm going to add about 4 cloves to this. And this will hopefully give the gammon a lot of flavour. And I'm also going to add in some bone broth. So I'm going to add in about 100 ml of bone broth, just to the base, just to help keep the gammon moist while it's cooking in the slow cooker. And I've also forgot to chop some carrots, so I'm going to go and get some carrots now. I have grabbed my carrots and I just simply peeled them and then just quartered them and cut the quarters up. So they're like chunks of carrot basically. They're probably about 2 centimetres long and 1 centimetre wide. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add those to the base of the slow cooker as well, all around the gammon. And hopefully this will give the gammon a lot of flavour. If you're wondering, I've got a spoon under there, that's where my teaspoon went earlier. If you're wondering, I didn't soak this overnight because it is unsmoked, so you don't need to soak unsmoked gammon. But if you have gammon that is smoked, then you probably need to soak it overnight. And also, if you wanted to soak it overnight, my dad always used to add cloves and bay leaves to the water, and that used to make it taste really nice as well. So That's just a tip if you want one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the lid onto the slow cooker pot, and I'm going to turn this on high for 3 to 4 hours. But if you want to cook it slower than that, you can turn it on to low for 7 to 8 hours. The gammon has cooked, and I would like to apologise for the lighting here. It's gone very dark outside. It's very grey and cloudy right now, sadly. I've missed all the sunshine, so well, anyway, I'm going to carry on, and I'm going to take the gammon from the slow cooker pot, and I'm just going to leave it on a board. I'm going to leave this to sit and rest for a good 10 minutes while I go and make the gravy. So to make the gravy, I've put a saucepan onto my hob with a sieve over the top, and I'm going to pour all the contents from the slow cooker pot into the saucepan like so. I'm going to try and get as much as I can as possible as well. Oh, that's because I've hit the thing there, hit the buttons with the juice, it always goes off. So I'm just going to squash this through like so. There's only 3 of us having this meal, so that should be enough gravy for the 3 of us. And I'm going to add a little bit of chickpea flour just to thicken the sauce a wee bit. So I'm just going to push it through the colander so it's nice and even when it hits the slow cooker pot juice or gravy. So I'm just going to add another one, I think. I'm just going to pop that through. So I'm basically sieving the chickpea flour before it gets into the gravy, so that it's nice and even and there aren't too many lumps in the gravy. You could add ordinary flour if you wanted to, but I can't. I've got a gluten intolerance, so I can't actually have white flour. But if you wanted to add white flour, or if you wanted to add corn flour, then you could. Sadly, I can't do corn flour either, really. So I've had to go with chickpea flour, and I'm just going to heat this through now until it starts to thicken, and hopefully it will thicken slightly. It probably won't be a massive thickness in the gravy, but it'll just thicken slightly, and that will help when it comes to pouring it on the beautiful gammon. So as I said, I'm just going to continue to stir the gravy until it starts to thicken slightly. The gravy has started to thicken slightly, and I am going to go and carve the meat now. So I'm going to go and carve up the gammon. If you wanted to, you could put the gammon into the oven for a half an hour just to crisp up the fat on top, but I hate to say it, no one really eats the fat in our house, so I'm not going to do that today. But if you wanted to, then you could crisp up the top a little bit by putting the gammon in the oven for probably about 15 to 20 minutes, and that should make the fat go all crispy. It has browned, the fat, I have to say, but obviously it hasn't gone crispy, and I'm just going to leave it the way it is today. But yes, that is nearly our dinner done, and I will carve up the meat and I'll let you know how it tastes as well. So I checked earlier and the juices were running clear from the gammon. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to carve the gammon into slices like so, and then in a moment I will try a little bit with the gravy as well. So that is the gammon. It's beautifully tender, I have to say. Feels like it's cooked really well, and I'm just going to dip it in the gravy because I've already tried the gravy and it was lovely. So that is really good, lovely and tender. Oh, that's nice, yeah. So that is our dinner this evening. That's how you make my delicious honey and orange slow cooker gammon, and that recipe I will link in the description box below for you. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be having this for our dinner this evening, and I'm going to be making some mashed potatoes and some green beans to go with it as well, and it all smells and tastes so good. I can't wait for dinner. So for now, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and please feel free to leave any comments below, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you all soon. Bye.